Vincent, yes, good morning, yes.
Oh, hi, Michael. How are you?
Yes, I'm well, thank you.
Oh, that's good. It was a really good session, the last one we had. I really thank you for your advice.
Oh, you think that was a good session? Okay, good. I'm glad, yes.
Yeah, I sort of, I took your advice. I've sort of backed away from, further investigations into, with Brian and the whole, the hospital stuff that we spoke about, that I mentioned last week. I mean, I have been catching up with Brian regularly because we do get on quite well.
Yes.
But a consequence of that is that, Priscilla's just sort of in the background now. She's like a mother figure to both of us. Well, she is his mother.
Yes.
I asked my father about my birth, and he was very vague about the whole thing.
I see.
So a lot of questions are arising about, my time of birth, whether, I clarified with him that I was born in the same hospital as Brian,
yes,
and that we shared the same birthday. He didn't remember too much about it.
Yes.
But yeah, it is something that I've been sort of thinking about a lot, and I will be investigating further into that and doing an ancestry.com sort of one of those, those checks.
Well, that's as we talked last week. Of course, you'll need to do some, DNA, like do a bit of special, send off some special or some feces or something. I don't know what you send off, but.
Yeah, I'm not sure what. I have to look into that.
Yes. And of course, the other thing. I mean, if you're going to look into, leave no stone unturned, as they say. But and then again, without getting into conspiracy theories or things like that, which I don't promote in any way. But it's well known that people get their identities hijacked and things like that, and even when you say, well, what hospital you were born in, well, and what time. I mean, that's just paperwork. That can all be fabricated. I mean, look at what's going on with the Jeffrey Epstein files. They're filed somewhere, and then then there's this pictures and letters and people saying not mine, someone else's. I don't know.
Yes.
It all just but the point I'm trying to get to is that. Is that with this sort of hijacking of identity and things like that, obviously the paperwork can be substituted, and you could be Brian and Brian could be you, or you could both be Brian, because they they sort of for some reason they sort of duplicated the identity with the intent of getting rid of the other one, because normally they do it with dead people, you see. When they do that, right? So they have a dead person, and then they sort of give that identity to someone else, and somebody pretends to be that dead person, some nondescript dead person.
Yes.
Well, I guess all dead people are nondescript, but like what I mean, like somebody who doesn't sort of never had relatives and things like that, but maybe a little bit different in this case. But there could be. This is a case where they forgot to kill the other one. So it's not dead. So you got two of you like doppelgangers.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because back then, when they did, like in hospital, the hospital system was a duplicate. Remember, it was that paper, and it was two sheets, and the paper that you wrote on the top would duplicate onto the paper underneath.
Yes.
And I'm looking for the original paperwork.
Oh, I see.
But I keep getting the duplicate, which was underneath the original, and to me that looks like it's been forged.
It could. Well, you may well be onto something. But listen, we should actually we should start the session proper. But there was something I wanted to tell you, and by all means, do carry on with the carry on. It's very important, obviously. But the thing that I wanted to raise with you before we start the session proper, because it will obviously affect the conduct of that session, is that unfortunately I've had a look in there. I haven't done this for a while. I had a look at the app that we've been using with the credits, and I'm afraid that you have actually run out of credits because your partner hasn't been topping you up, and you've been obviously using. Yes. So like I'll grant you this conversation, obviously because you probably weren't aware of it, you weren't keeping tabs on things, but that's the thing, and so I get obviously that puts you in a bit of a bind. I don't know what your work situation is, but I thought a way that you could maybe accumulate credits, because it'll just be using the app in reverse, in the same way that feed in tariffs for electricity, you just plug into the building, hope nothing blows up, and then it just takes things off your meter, if you sort of put a battery in, which is quite a clever thing that I do just to keep the bills down. I electrocuted myself once, but only mildly. It wasn't life-threatening. So my hair hasn't fully recovered.
Yes.
But the way that you would accumulate the credits, you see, is you would provide me with therapy. So we'd have like one session on, and then we'd reverse it sort of, and you'd provide me therapy, and then the app would register that as a credit, so you'd be able to have another therapy session. The following time, yes.
Well, look, I think that's a great suggestion. My issue is, it's not actually me that's registered in the app because of this whole identity crisis I'm going through. Right. Because do you know what I mean? So I actually think what you need to do is reconfigure the application. Right. Because it's not me. I'm not sure who I am at this point in time.
Yes. Oh, look, that's it. That can be dealt with. That's a feature of the app already. I'll just because there's a drop-down menu. I don't know if you've noticed it, but it assigns sort of conditions. I've already assigned a number to you, as you know, from various discussions. But I'll just add Imposter Syndrome to that, and it'll be fine.
Yes. Okay. Well, so yes. Okay. So is that number linked to any of my previous identification? Like previous, like my, government card or anything like that. If it is, then it has to change because I'm currently going through a whole process, investigation into who I am.
Into who you really are. Yeah, well, no, it does. Once you label somebody with imposter syndrome, the authorities are notified straight away, obviously. This is over and above the kind of reporting I would be doing in the event that you had there was harm or self-harm or the potential for that. But so look, if the police or social work knock on your door after we've had this conversation, in fact, even after last week, which is when I updated the setting. You'll have to choose what name to give them, obviously, but just so you expect it, you're not surprised. You don't want to be.
Yes. And the other thing I thought of was, well, how does this affect my potential to be, competing in the Mental Olympics? Because I would, would I be representing Australia if I don't have an identity, or do I have to, represent, myself as a non-aligned to a country?
Well, it's an excellent question actually, and look, the way that I understand from Michael, this is my supervisor Michael, who's the mental Olympic scout, is there's obviously there's a whole category there of for imposters, people who exhibit imposter. So you actually and again he hasn't they're still recruiting, and there's obviously if it's not this 4-year cycle, it could be the next 4-year cycle, assuming you still have mental health issues then. But we'll do our best to make sure you do to maximise your chances of competing, because I know you made it very clear that you really are ready. You're very committed and you're ready to be committed, as you said.
Ready to be.
Yes, but listen. So our time is up, even though it didn't start in the first place, and this is not a session, so I won't. Well, there's no credits there, so I can't even do that. But I think for the next session, and sorry to cut across you there, but I'm really you're on borrowed time right now, to be honest with you.
Well, look, I think. Look, everything's up in the air. We've thrown everything up. It's kind of, we're in this sort of no man's land.
Yes.
And I just think hopefully by our next session I will have got some clarification about who I am, where I was born.
Yes.
And then we can progress from that point, I guess.
Yes. Okay, that's good. But in any case, the next session, I think, let's just make sure you got the credits accumulating. So the next session, you will be the therapist, I'll be the client. So just remember. I mean, you've been through it before. Just it's actually not that hard, to be honest. So you just start the session, go through the protocols, things like that, and we'll go from there. You'll accumulate the credit, and then we can have a reverse session, reverse session, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
For the one after, yes.
All right. I'll look forward to that one.
Yes. Excellent. Okay, well, listen, you take care. And
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.